Flag Square Brewing Company, downtown Utica. Dave Farms, where's the beef at? Contact Jimmy Faye. Family Landscaping, make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ. The Black River Ale House, where the Romans go. Dura Products, who's got the pipe? Jimmy Faye's got the pipe. Contact Jimmy Faye for irrigation, drainage, pool, and spa. You building a new house, contact Jimmy Faye. He's got your stuff. The B-Dry System. Your basement's wet, it'll hold the B-Dry. Believe in 271. Nobody fights alone. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, your local representative. George Taylor, sales and service. Liberty Affordable Housing. Rome Sign and Display Company. Nice Scoba. The men and women in blue, thank you for what you do. Robert Dix Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix. Tri-City Lacrosse. 40 years of summer fun. Master Vito Hyundai. Contact the sales force. CRM Rental Management. The Clinton Tractor and Implement Company. Contact the Caledona family.
We're live, Paul. And we're live.
Hello, Yeti Nation. Beecher, how you doing?
Good. I did not have you turn down that much, so that Hello Yeti Nation might have just blown somebody's speakers out of there. I'm doing good. What's happening?
It's a beautiful Wednesday up here in New York State and in the beautiful town of Lee, New York. And we're excited to talk Yeti talk, baby. Yeti Inner Circle.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, what a game last week. I'm gonna run the highlights. So this is on a computer that's a little dated, but we've updated it a little bit. This is gonna be streaming in Buffalo. So we're gonna try to run this. If this doesn't run right, everybody, we'll be right back. As long as this doesn't crash, I'm really excited, but we'll see what happens. I think we'll be okay. I just am a little nervous we might drop a couple frames.
As far as that's the wrong game. I grabbed the wrong piece of paper. Sitting here, just got done with. I was up at Tri-City this evening. We're making up our games from Monday because we got rained out. So the youth program had to make up their games today and running not behind. I was able to leave a couple minutes early. I got everything taken care of that I needed to, and was able to talk to a couple people about different things. We're working our youth program. We're trying to get some teams put together for the Oswego has a program, and they're wanting to play some games for their varsity high school age kids, and we're in about the same thing with the Tri-City kids. And our problem is we have practices on Wednesday night, but the last two Wednesday nights have been pushed back because of Tri-City youth program going on. So, we had probably 500. I don't know. There's 500 kids in the program this year, so it's an event that I got to get somebody that has a drone license to get up there next Monday night and get that thing up in the air, because I want to see what it looks from the top side with all the cars. I mean, I probably got 5 acres of cars, from one side of our property to the fireman's property. It's packed with cars, and it's like, man, I hope grandma and grandpa doesn't come tonight. And, people are on vacation because we were almost tapped out again. It's pretty cool when you're running out of parking.
Yeah, that's an awesome
stressful.
feeling. That's it's stressful, but I mean, it's gotta be cool to see that many young men out there playing lacrosse. So yeah, we dropped a ton of frames when I tried to play that highlight video. We'll talk about the game here in a minute, but I'm gonna try to route it through an NDI source, which I think will be fine because it runs through the network and it'll be fast enough. But yeah, I mean, I guess what we should do really is just start talking about how great the the first half was. If you want to leave off after the end of the first half, we could do that.
Well, the first half was the best part of the game. In regards to an incredible crowd at the Igloo, the Master Vito Arena. You know, I don't know. Was it three? Was it 350? Were we pushing four? We were around there. We didn't have our youth program there this last game, so it wasn't it wasn't youth packed concept where this on the 21st. We've contacted MGM out in California. We've contacted a couple actors. We've contacted what's his name? Bill Murray. We got a hold of Bill. Bill is going to be in town coming up here. And as far as we're going to have some fun in regards to the upcoming game. But this game here, it definitely was a great first half. Once again, dominating Nicky Farrell. I want to believe I watched the game the other night, and I maybe five losses maybe on the entire night for faceoffs. He was on. He was on
Nicky
again.
Farrell with the first,
and the one that he did, it was an over adjustment concept where you're running one way and you're trying to throw the ball the opposite way. Sometimes it doesn't happen. So we lost a couple of those draws because of that. But dominated the draws, which usually is a deciding factor, and it clearly was in the first half. And the goalie is for the Oswego was pretty hot. We got him moving in the first half, side to side, and airplane took off. We had some serious action goals going on. What was it? 12 seconds into the game, we scored. Thorpe right off the bat. That one. That set a tempo, and we was rolling. The guys were. As was Oswego, not that we dominated. They made it. They made it a very competitive first half with coming back, and it was fun up until we decided we were outside shooter. We're a 3-point shooter. Whatever happened to going inside basketball terminology, whatever happened going inside to get the outside shot. Vice versa. It didn't open up for us. We decided to start letting them fly from the outside, and the big man took up a lot of space where, the rebounds weren't there. He soaked them up. They were dead balls. They got stuck in the shin pads. Whatever concept, the rebound wasn't there, or if there was a rebound, the youthful Roadhawks or Riverhawks, they were there to scoop it up and get it upfield. They did a good job. It's definitely a tale of two halves. That's for sure. No question there. Again, makes it very parody. How many times we've talked about throughout the season parody? Man, holy snot! Let's go Riverhawks and let's go Yeti. Let's knock off those spirits. Get the little voodoo hex out. Woo! And as far as let's knock these guys off and let's get a 3-way tie going for first place in the Empire. Upstate Empire, that is.
Yeah, I mean it's there is a lot going on up there, and I mean when you look at those the power rankings, the fact that you got 2 teams up there from your division, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really says something for yeah.
It's definitely so. I mean, I wish we was. You get what you sow. You reap what you sow. Whatever the scenario is, we farted. Man who farts in church sit in his own pew. You want to know what? Well, we were at church and we sat in our own pew, and that second half hurt us. Right now it's a tie, if I'm not mistaken, and I very well could be. But how I looked at it, if you're looking at stats and everything, we're tied into I believe going into the second round of breaking down tiebreakers for the division right now. So I believe we still have the upper hand because of goals for, I believe, and I could be wrong. I'm not a mathematician, so I haven't had the opportunity yet to start breaking down the numbers. But I think a couple Eels games helped us out and got us ahead a little bit right now. Maybe not much, I'm not sure, but something I'll definitely be taking a look into to see where we are with our, where we stand. Yeah, and obviously, what helps us most of all is, lick our wounds. We got practice Sunday at the Nexus Center, so we're fired about that. It's going to be a good Yeti day where we can tweak, and guys have said they're going to be in town, so that's a good feature. Tweak some things up. It gives the guys a little, not to say rest, but those who did get some bumps and bruises in the last couple games and weeks, gives them a little rest period, and then we got the Spirit on the 21st.
I mean, that is one thing. It's a very tough sport on you. I give credit to any of these teams that play double headers or whenever you guys do anything like that. I mean, it's tough on your body, man. They are just banging. You do not get to sit out front of the net. If you're playing the Yeti, if you're playing the Riverhawks, if you're playing, the Spirits, the Eels, they're gonna shove you out of the front of the net. Anytime you try to get in there with the ball, you're going to have to earn it. And it's one of my favorite parts about it. We've talked about it before. It's a very physical, it's emotional game, and the guys take that personal. You are not going to get shots in front of the net. And at the beginning of the game, that's something you guys were doing great, was moving the ball so fast that when the slide came, there wasn't.
Guys were soaking it. McDonald was soaking them up. Jimmy Fay was soaking. They're taking them for Jimmy or for Patty, and they're not getting through. That's something we got to do more of. It's a nice feature that our goalie leads the league in saves, but on the same note, that means we're giving him the shots that he wants. In regards to for the most part, most of the time, he's making some incredible saves as well. Two different styles compared to the goalies that Patty's definitely a smaller, more agile, quicker reaction snapper versus Lump. In regards to, you put he's got to make some moves, and he's definitely making some moves. He's got a quick blocker hand, and he's solid. I love him. Good kid, and he wants those shots. So those are the shots where. A lot of them are at the end of the shot clock where they're fading away, just trying to get it on goal because of the style defense we play. So it's enjoyable to watch. Obviously it wasn't the best second half, and props, hats off to the Riverhawks, man. They came into our house and sang "Sweet Caroline" at the end, and good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, that Riverhawks team is they're no joke. And I talk about it a lot.
They were without their Red Hawk players as well. Timmy Z wasn't there. Schultzky wasn't there. I'm sure there might have been a couple other guys that weren't there either. So their young studs are finding. We had, I believe Hardy was shut out the first half. He didn't have any points in the first half. Everything came from the second half, if I'm not mistaken, looking at what I remember looking at. And so, we did what we needed to do the first half, and, they made their adjustments, and we didn't make the right, whether it was adjustments or, not that you get selfish, but when we're taking all these outside shots, the big guy has got to be moving. You got to get these goalies moving. And we are definitely experienced enough to know this. And, it's a matter of getting everybody on the same page. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's a big thing, really. It's so much easier said than done, though. Obviously, I figured out. I think if we do it this way, I won't drop any frame rates. It's gonna take me a minute to crop the photos around so everybody sees on YouTube and it looks good. But I think we're gonna get the highlights in this way. So keep talking as you were, Paul, as I'm meandering this around.
As far as once again, now that I'm able, 1-0. Once again, what was that? I'm sorry. 24 seconds into the first period. Well, that's actually after the second faceoff. Well, it was right off the bat. Boom. Thorpe, Gale took a pass coming down and boom, boom, snapped it in. It was pretty cool. And it continued to roll. The guys were moving the ball around, cutting through, making their picks, getting off picks, opening up, and shots were there. Goalie was getting moved. We went airplane. Jesse DeMays had a couple incredible near goals, a couple pipes. I would love to. I'd love to. We had 2 goals, and I'm not going to say officials, but you called 2 goals off that were pretty darn close. That one there could have been and should have been called off. Was that one of them? If it is, that's a great video because he definitely stepped on. But I don't want to be too. Maybe that was a makeup call when they took the other one away because they seen what happened on that one right there. Because he definitely stepped on the goal. The goal line was stepped on that dive. It was great dive, great play. He excels, man. That's what happens when you train, you do right. You squat 600 pounds because that's what you do, and you're able to launch. The kid can launch. He gets up in the air. He's acrobatic. He's entertaining. There's no question. Sometimes you don't know what he's doing. All of a sudden, holy sugar! He just put that through his legs after he switched hands and stuff like that. He does insane stuff sometimes.
Oh yeah,
but
it's nuts. But I think we're dropping frames on everybody else. We're probably looking pretty glitchy because I got a bunch of little red numbers propping up. So I don't think the video. I'm gonna have to steal a video card from a computer to get this going out there. But yeah, it doesn't look like the highlights are gonna be in on this one, man. I keep trying to stream them on. They are just not cooperating.
It's you want to what? It happens. That's why we're doing what we do. You want to what? Learn it. How did they say it? We're flying the plane, or we're building the plane as we're flying.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. And that's what makes it so fun and entertaining. I'm sitting there again. We're talking Yeti inner circle stuff where a year ago this was a thought and a dream. You want to what? And look what all of a sudden, Beecher, you're doing what you're doing. The Yeti are still doing what the Yeti do. We've got incredible amount of support from our fans. I mean, at the game, again, what the fans did in regards to purchasing 50/50s. We did a something a little different. I don't know if it's normal, but that's how I did it. And you want to know what? I'm pretty happy that we did it that way. Is one set of tickets, and proceeds go to Believe 271. Nobody Fights Alone. And as far as props to our fan base that got out there, and we had a jersey for raffle, we had a stick for raffle from MEM Photography. Mark Murphy, him and Melissa did an awesome stick.
No, don't even call him Brandon anymore. They call him Righty.
And it definitely helped build a little help in love from
Triple team, Owen Spirit.
Nation
it's a
to Believe 271. So
defense,
I'm excited
recovery.
to
Just a
get them
tough
their check at the end of the season and say, we got your back as well.
Battling on the boards. Look at it.
Yeah, it's awesome. What
Good stuff.
Gotta love it. So I thought maybe if I dropped my camera, it
there.
would work. It does not appear that really likes to work either. I'm getting yellow numbers though, so we were getting closer.
You're getting closer.
So
as far as we had some healthy scratches. That's something. That's what happens when you got a roster.
Now, you guys had some healthy scratches, but we're getting ready to basically this last game is huge because you want to at least split this with the Spirits kind of going into playoff mode. So if you split the game with them, then it's going to go to goal differential, which it'll be very hard for you guys to compete with them. They have put up.
They clearly, just by looking at numbers, they clearly I'm not even looking at the numbers on that one. Yeah, no, they got a serious offense. They can put some numbers on. it's cracking the code, man. Can we crack the code? That's why we're practicing. You want to get the boys together, get them healthy, and tool it up and fine tune, shave the edges. In regards to get them ready. It's going to be a great game. The Nexus Center. I'm pretty optimistic. The fingers are crossed. I'm going to say 500 is the magic number. I want to say I think we might be able to break that 500 number this coming game. It's definitely a number I would love to see. That's my dream, is to get a lot of these fans to watch box lacrosse, man. It's a sport that's, I had up there today, Johnny Sullivan, Shannon's brother. He came up to me. He's like, Paul, man, this box lacrosse is insane. It's so much fun to watch. I'm like, it is, isn't it? He's like, I've been telling everybody we're going to get these guys going, and never know what we're going to pull out of the hat to surprise people of what we got planned this coming next game. The last game was a great game for the spectators to see, a good back and forth battle.
It was a great first half, and you got to give that goalie a lot of credit. He looked, excellent out there. You guys, a lot of from out.
Beecher, I'm going to tell you this much. You want to what? I'm going to, maybe I stick my foot in my mouth. I don't give it.
I'm sure it won't be the first time you've done
it's
that.
Inner circle, and you want to know what? Inner circle says you hit the target enough, they're going to stick. We hit the kid. He didn't make saves. We hit the kid. You want to hit a kid enough times. How many shots? I don't have the paperwork in front of me real quick, but why you watched the game? I've watched the game. You want to know what? We didn't do anything that we did in the first period or in the first half, and we shot from the outside. The kid stood there. He's 290 pounds, and then you throw all that equipment on there. Takes up a lot of space. If you don't move the goalie, you don't score goals if you just shoot at him, period. He had that stick pinned a couple times. It spun, but it didn't spin enough to get by him. The 5-hole shot, we tried, and, there was a couple times where there was squeakers behind him, and, you got to be smarter than what
you guys got 44 shots. Yeah, 44 shots on that.
44 shots on net.
And then you took an extra 10 that missed the net.
10 that missed the net. And
so really, you took 54 shots.
How many shots were in the second half compared to the first half?
That I would have to go through and count through the history. That's not going to happen.
That's not happening, right? But I guarantee our shot percentage in the first half was in the higher maybe 70s, 80s versus the rest of the game. I guarantee it probably dropped down into the 20s.
We should have Molly take a screenshot of it at the end of each quarter as she's putting the stats in. I know it's one more thing to add to her list, but we should ask her too, because that would be cool to look at it compared to the quarters, because it does keep the percentage and everything. So as long as she's doing it like that, she could just update it. That's a pretty big thing with this league. They have really given you guys all the things that to be that next level. If you want to take it that serious and you want to have your stats tracked like that, I mean, how cool is it? I wish I could pull it up on the screen right now, but unfortunately I am on the old computer.
The old school.
Yeah.
The old school. The old gray hair.
Well, this was a Frankenstein computer. Once upon a time, this was all cut apart, and I had another power supply that I had to jump to run the video card. So that's why, I mean, I'm not worried. We'll get it running in top shape, but I just might have to get a power supply. And what you do is you put a staple in the power supply, and it tricks it like it's plugged into a motherboard, and then you can power anything that's too big for your power supply, and your computer doesn't really know the difference. So you can get some serious power out of, on some of these. So like I could get like an 8 gig. Maybe I'll take a video card out of, it'd be a trip to Best Buy tomorrow to upgrade some video cards, maybe a couple of RAM sticks. The problem is when you got to get it quick, because we got to be out there and set up. And worst case scenario is I just tell Jared, hey, sorry, I'm stealing your computer, bud. But we're trying not to do that. We're trying to give him his computer and not quite steal it.
Right, exactly. Well, you want to know what? That's the cool thing about this learning thing, dude. This whole learning process. Dave threw you a couple bones the other day, and I'm gonna have to talk to him and say, listen, we'll hook you up, give those bones back. Don't let the man lick his chops a little bit and then pull the bone away. Hey, let him chew on that.
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You're talking with the graphics kid. Yeah.
Yeah, the graphics guy. I definitely got to talk to him. If that's something that can help you out, whatever we got to do, Dave. Let's hook Beecher up. Let's get him taken care of, and we'll talk on the other side of the side of the plate on that one.
Yeah. So
in regards to it's great to be in the Nexus, to watch all you do what you do with the sponsors and the replays. We had the national anthems. Again, don't put me in charge or near the damn playing pause and all this stuff. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. But as far as we're getting the music dialed in, I'm excited for the 21st, man.
I tell you, I love it. I can't wait for the 21st. I think that's going to be a huge game. It's definitely going to be a super entertaining game. Anybody in the area definitely wants to check it out. If you're not in the area, definitely check it out on the Yeti stream. I tell you what, that last game though, the YouTube chat was on point. Those guys were absolutely hilarious. They were dialed in. They were ready to roll.
They're ready to go. Hutchin and Bobby Leary were on fire. They had another great game announcing. I can't say enough to the crew that we got. The guys down in the penalty box, Tommy Dutcher and Russ Leota running the penalty box doors. I can't say enough to them. Thank you very much. They rock. As far as Tommy Curran was working the time clock this past week, and he's like, holy cow, that is a job right there, trying to keep everything going square. And then he was also doing the 30-second clock, so props to Tommy and keeping everything running squarely the other day. Molly, what Molly does, again, hopefully the league sees what she does, and they offer an opportunity to I'd be willing to bet she would go out to Chicago and help do it again. I don't know. Maybe she would. Maybe she wouldn't. I'm not sure. But I'm looking to get out there, and whether I know one way I'm definitely getting out there is with the Yeti, and hopefully that's definitely in the horizons as all the Yeti are working towards. And from there, we're going to go to see what the Old West is all about, right? Isn't that considered Old West?
Is that the Old West? I don't know. I read a book about the fair back, when they had the World's Fair back in Chicago. That was a big deal.
What was that, like 32, wasn't it? Where didn't the city burn down shortly after that?
City burned down shortly after it. I actually read the book from the perspective of somebody doing a cold case on. There was a serial killer that owned a hotel and stuff there. It was very interesting. Back when I worked midnights, it was a very interesting read. It was one of those, I found the book sitting somewhere and was like, well, I'm bored, so here we go. And it was interesting. And I tell you, that fair, there was a lot of money dumped into that fair. That's basically why we all have power adapters now on our computer. So like where you have your phone and they call them cubes, everybody plugs in a little power cube. Essentially, the reason we have that is because Edison paid off the people to get himself into the fair. And if not, we would have been using DC power the whole time, probably from Tesla, which means we wouldn't have all those silly adapters we have now because the power was, it's what we use. It's definitely the best, but we're, Americans sometimes be a little hard-headed. We'll just ram our head into the wall for a few, decades until we figure it out.
Figure it out. And that's what we're doing right now with the Yeti. We're figuring it out. That's all, as far as solid defense every game, can't complain defensively. We're running, we're gunning, we're doing what we need to do. We're going to make the playoffs, and then it's a new season. We're going to finish out strong and maybe push for a first place shot. Whoever knows. We'll see what happens. That's,
I mean, in
That's
all reality, you just have to beat the Spirits and shut them out. Like if you score 60 goals and shut them out, then there's no problems. You guys take the
yeah, there's no problem.
take the division. I don't see
That is what the game plan is. We want 60 shots a game. As far as 60 shots equals 60 goals, and then you start working backwards from that. That would be a perfect game. 60. Let's shoot for it. Why not?
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's been crazy. I wish we had more of the highlights and stuff. They will all be uploaded onto the Yeti. After this, I'll upload everything to the YouTube channel. I was really expecting this to pull it off and like just super win today, and yeah, that took the wind out of the sails a little bit.
Not at all. Again, great. How else do you learn? How else can you make corrections if you don't?
I like to tell Jared, you never learn like you do when you fuck it up because, and now I'm swearing, but you never learn like you do when you screw it up because once you do, you're like.
Understand that? Did you get what I was talking about last night when I sent you that text?
Absolutely.
Where he was talking to Timmy, and I quote.
Yeah. It's
that's what it's all about. You want to what? It's a learning process. I'm excited. I know, every GM throughout the league is excited. The stats, I was listening to you talk to Timmy last night and everything. And yeah, stats are going to change. We're going on games, 7? I think 7 or 8. What was our record? No, we're 3-7 right now, or 3-4 right now, right?
Yeah. So you guys are on game 7, going on game 8, where you see a lot of these teams.
So, some of those
3
teams,
games.
they've had 3 games.
Yeah.
So, stats and everything are going to definitely do some changing. I'm sure some high shooting, high octane offense out west and down south is going to come around. Cambridge has knocked off the main. There's a lot of parity, and it's not just parity in our league. It's throughout. It honestly throughout. You talked about the Golden Bears. You talked about the Golden Bears.
This league, though, you get a hot goalie who's on fire for a couple of games. And if you shut down everybody, I don't care how good you are. If you can't score, you're not going to win the game. It's that simple. There's no.
It comes down to it. That's you got to put the goals in the net or the ball in the net, and everybody knows you got to get the goalie going side to side. Everybody knows that. You ask anybody, how do you score on these guys? Yeah, you get them side to side. That backdoor quick stick, it's great ball. And everybody's got the talent throughout the league. Is this a minor league? It is. These players, they're traveling hours and hours and hours to participate. Wheeler and Ben, they come out of New York City. They leave New York City. They roll into Utica at 7:00. They put their jerseys on. They roll out there. They get warmed up. They played 2 hours worth of lacrosse. They go in, take a quick shower, get back in their car, and drive back to New York City. And I'm sure there's several players that do the same exact thing. And without the players, there's none of this league. That's what it comes down to. The league is giving it to the general managers. The general managers are all doing a great job running their teams, doing the best they can, whether it's home and homes, whether it's one weekend a season, or however it works best for them. They're all making it happen, and there's a lot of talent. Can't beat it. The best way to be involved is get involved. And if you're a former player wanting to play, there's teams throughout the country. That's the coolest thing, and there's several different leagues depending on how much interest you're looking for, or how much lacrosse you're looking for.
That's so the Pittsburgh. When I talked to the Pittsburgh Gnomes guy, he actually said that they had picked up players from other teams. So people would just move into the area and they would essentially look up the NABLL website, and they just be like, okay, where's the teams in this division? Start shopping around on Instagram, and the next thing you know, boom, we're here.
We had his name was what was his name? DiMaggio? No, DeMarco. Mike DeMarco
right.
from the Hooligans.
Paul, we're gonna try something a little crazy here. I'm gonna try
Okay.
to switch this over from one computer to the next computer. So we're
You
gonna
do what
shut
you
the
do.
stream off for 1 second, everybody. You keep talking, Paul. We'll see if we miss
Keep
any of it or
talking.
how this.
Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't.
Maybe it doesn't.